Okay, looks like we are live. Yo, yo, what is good? It is the Godfather of VR, the Ageless Wonder, the man Lincoln Clay coming back at you with a bittersweet podcast. How's everybody doing today? Or the one viewer that I have so far, what's going on? For those who might follow in later or catch this on replay, hope your day is going good. So, getting right down to it. Um, I received some good news today, and that is that my PC is fixed. And in the same breath, that is also bad news. So I decided to check in with Best Buy and get an update on my PC. And it was repaired yesterday and shipped out last night. And it should, make its way back to the Best Buy where I dropped it off by the end of the day tomorrow. So I'll be going to pick it up, whatever. Now that's good news is because I will have my I will have my PC back by the weekend. And for the premium games, the games that the Quest just cannot handle, the Asgard's Wrath, excuse me, the Stormlands, those kind of games, I'll be able to get back to playing those games. Unfortunately, unless Steam has a cloud save, I'll probably have to start those games over. But I will be able to play those games again. So that is the good part. The bad part is that I was hoping the PC was going to die, so they would refund my money because I have the Alienware Aurora R8, the one above me, and that has an RTX 2070 graphics card. It has a Intel i5 90. It's either 94 or 9700, which can be overclocked. Um, let's see here, 16 gigs of RAM, a 1 terabyte hard drive, I think 256 gig SSD. So I mean, when I first bought it, I thought that was a pretty good PC. Um, because I thought the two cyber powers that I'll be bought before that were junk, but I'll come back around to that in a minute. So anyway, they at Best Buy, they treat hardware like insurance companies treat cars. If you have an accident, their first option is to try to fix it at the lowest possible cost. And if it becomes a situation where it costs more than what it's worth to fix it, then they'll total it out. And Best Buy does the same thing with their warranties. If it's a situation where it can't be repaired or it would cost more than what the computer's worth to fix it, then they'll go ahead and trash it and then refund me the money. Um, but the PC was repaired, so I'm curious to see what it was when I go pick it up tomorrow or Friday to see what it was that killed the PC because I need this information. Nerfestein, what's going on? How are you? So, excuse me. Now this R8 that I have, it originally retailed for $2,000. Uh, JD Maxx, what's going on? At the time that I bought it, I paid. JD feels like ages since I saw you. Okay, cool. You guys are having a conversation. So when I bought that PC, I paid $1,800 for it. Couple about a week after I bought it, it went on sale again down to $1,600. So Best Buy refunded me the balance. So it was 1,600 plus I think like another couple $100 to put a warranty on it. I think it's got a 2 year warranty on it. Is that your PC in the images? The one directly above me is the PC that I have. The one going this way is the one that I want. That's why it's bad news that my PC is fixed. So the one that I want is the Aurora R9. It has a i7, I believe 9400, somewhere in that nine, whatever the number is for the 9000 CPUs. It has a RTX 2070. Um, let me see, 16 gigs of RAM, uh, 1 terabyte hard drive, 256. So basically, it's the same. It's got the same specs as my R8. It just has a better processor in it, and I just wanted a PC with a better CPU in it, and so it looks like I'm gonna get my PC back. And moving forward, when I get this PC back, I'm gonna have to do things a little bit differently when I stream games because I'm convinced now that I killed all three of those PCs by putting a heavy load on those PCs by streaming and gaming from the same PC. Now, from what I've heard from numerous YouTubers is that PCs have to work a lot harder pushing VR games than they do flat screen games, and then you add that to me streaming on top of that. When I stop back and look at it, the first PC that I killed was a CyberPower, which to me I thought had pretty good specs. Um, it had a 1 terabyte hard drive, 256 SSD, a Ryzen 2700X, I believe, X Professor or whatever that process is, 2070, RTX 2070. So it ran pretty good, but it died after 2 weeks. And it turned out that it was the SSD, long story short. I went through their process. They eventually refunded me my money after a couple of weeks after they determined that it needed to be sent back to the manufacturer. I bought the exact same computer thinking that the first one that died was like an isolated or freak accident. And the second CyberPower PC died in the same manner as the first one. In the same time frame, it died after a couple of weeks. At that point, I got the impression that CyberPower just builds junk. So so that's what made me give this Alienware a try. And looked like for a while, looked like this Alienware was pretty strong because up until it started acting funny, a couple of weeks ago, it had been running pretty good. So I was thinking that while the PC was gone and gave me time to try to reflect, like what could I have done to possibly kill the PC? And then I started looking at videos of dual PC streaming, how to game from one PC and stream from another, and connect them both. So I saw several videos, and it seems like the general consensus is that in order to stream and game from the same PC, you need at the minimum you need an i7. So that's one of the reasons why I was hoping that my computer had took a crap so I can get this new one. Nerfenstein, I got a PC laptop for Christmas, all Mac for years. Got it for link cable, which was working great until this week. Just stopped working. Frustrating. I know what you mean. And you're talking to a man that went through 3 PCs, so I'm the PC killer. um, so when I was talking to Best Buy, I asked them, I said, is there any way that I can upgrade the PC? Like, can I put an i7 in there or i9, but the PC still be warranted if you guys put it in there? And it was like, yes, but it's a little bit of a thing to it. They said if they were to put another processor in there, the processor wouldn't be warranted, but the rest of the PC would be warranted. So what would happen is they was telling me that if the CPU were to go out, then I'm just out. But if anything else goes out on the PC, then it's covered under the warranty. The only thing is that they would need to put the original CPU back in. So they were telling me that if I upgraded the CPU that's in there, that I would need to keep the old one for those purposes. So that's not worth it to me to drop another $400, because to me that's a crapshoot. I don't want to spend another $400 to put another CPU in there, and then something goes wrong with it, and then when I have to take it to the Geek Squad, then they say no, it's no longer under warranty because because it was one of the parts was removed. I don't want to get caught by some shit like that. So, Lay, what's going on? What it do to you? Please excuse me. Hey, let me get some air circulating through here. It's just a little bit warm. Okay. So that is pretty much my situation. So yes, that's the good news. I will have my PC back. The bad news is it didn't take a crack. So, but I guess it really doesn't matter at the end of the day because, like I said, when I get that PC back, I'm gonna not stream from that Alienware when I get it back. I'm just gonna find a way to connect these two PCs. Right now, the cheapest way to go would be the NDI plugin for OBS, and I know that's a compromise because it's going to compromise the quality. Long story short, but that's the way to do it without me having to come out of pocket because if I get a capture card and other equipment that I would need, I'm probably going to be coming out of pocket about $200, and right now that is not feasible because I got some things staring me in the face that I got to deal with. I got a car payment and 4 credit cards that I'm paying on right now. You said get an internal capture card. It would have to be considerably cheaper before I do that, sick, because as I was about to say, I got several things staring me in the face right now. I got the car payment, which ain't shit, and I got 4 credit card payments. Each of them individually ain't shit, but when you lump all 5 of them together, yeah, it's a little bit of money. And yeah, I got enough money to pay all that shit off right now, everything, but it would leave me broke. So the plan is next month, when I get my taxes, out of those 4 credit cards that I'm paying on, I'm going to pay off 3 of them, and then concentrate on paying ahead on my car payments and that remaining credit card. So by this time next year, no ifs, ands, or buts, everything will be paid off by this time next year. Now, the other 2 things that I've got staring me in the face that's going to cost me a little bit of a chunk of change is one is I'm trying to put away money for the PS5, which I've got about $300 tucked away right now for the PS5. Now, naturally, I could put it on a credit card and pay for it, but I want to wipe that out and just not have to have a credit card payment hanging over my head. It'd be nice to get that out of my hair. And then the other thing that I'm staring at is renewing the plates on both of my cars because it's going to cost me about $500 to renew the plates on both of my cars because here in Michigan, they go by what your car cost when it was new. And my Acura, I think when it was brand new, was $55,000, and my Lexus, when it was new, was about $70,000. So the plates on my Acura, give or take, is about $200, and the plates on my Lexus would be about $300. So I got to deal with that too. So I got a lot of stuff staring me in the face. So there's some corners that, as far as the YouTube part of it goes, moving forward with streaming games and that kind of stuff, the goal is to try to do it without spending any kind of money. So right now, I think I'm just going to go ahead and try the NDI plugin because it's free, so it couldn't hurt to try it. Now, if the stream just looks like absolute crap to the point where I can't take it, then I'll start looking at hardware that I would need. And I think that's it on that. As far as that part goes, nothing else really to talk about. But I can take a quick look. Free is always good, Nerfenstein. Exactly. I can take a quick look though at because I made a lot of tweets today. So I can take a quick look at those and see if I want to talk about any of those. So give me a second here. me see here. Got a title here from Minecraft to MLB The Show. Exclusivity is nearly non-existent. Let me see. Xbox future is looking strong, which that was a joke. I definitely put that up there to be funny because that's an opinionated piece. Let me see. CES 2020, Firefox Reality VR web browser to launch, on some headsets. So let me see. Panasonic's coming out with an ultra compact VR, but they look more like that professor from Back to the Future. Those circular mad scientist looking glasses. That's what these VR headset looks like. It looks like some weird ass mad scientist glasses. Haven't touched my Xbox for like over a year. I put it this way, Nerfenstein, only like my Xbox gets used every day, but it gets used to watch YouTube. I don't play games on it. I mean, for the most part of it, like 90% of it, Stardust, what is good, my guy? Willy Wonka glasses, yeah, that kind of stuff. But you know what? I'll just go ahead and save all that stuff for live from Wakanda. So, I guess I'll hang out here a few minutes, 15, 20 minutes, whatever you guys want to talk about. And I'll just save all that stuff for Saturday because I really don't feel like breaking those up. I don't really feel like reading those articles and trying to break it down and giving opinions and stuff like that because I really don't want to be here terribly long because I do want to get to my quest. Excuse me. I did do a few streams on Facebook from the Oculus Quest. It is incredibly easy. All you got to do is hit the share button. The bad news is, as far as the direct stream, you have to stream directly to Facebook. And what I'm basically going to have to do with that is I'm going to have to make an official Lincoln Clay account or page on Facebook, and then I'll give you guys the info on that, links or whatever. So what I'm going to do is what I'm looking to do is when I stream from the Oculus Quest, I'm going to stream directly to Facebook because I don't feel like buying the equipment, the capture card, the HD splitter, the Chromecast Ultra, all that kind of shit, and just stream directly to Facebook. So whenever I stream on, whenever I get this Lincoln Clay page going on Facebook, you guys make sure you follow me there. And whenever I stream from the Quest, I'll do it there. I'll continue to stream from the PlayStation VR like normal. Nothing's going to change there because you can stream directly to Twitch or YouTube. But now when I stream from the PC, that's where the issue is going to lie because I'm going to have to connect these two computers so I don't put an extra load on my gaming PC. I need to let my gaming PC do exactly what it was meant to do, with play games and nothing else, and don't put any extra weight on it by putting all kinds of streaming shit on it. So but yeah, it's incredibly easy to stream to Facebook, and you just hit the share button. It'll turn on the microphone and just pick where you want to stream it, whether you want to stream it on your timeline, whether you want to stream it to any groups, and go. And the only thing about streaming from the Quest directly to Facebook, the screen has a stretched look to it. It looks slightly stretched, but it's not bad. It's watchable. So, but I've been having a tremendous amount of fun with the Quest lately. And I can't talk about those Quest groups enough. The Oculus Quest groups that I've joined every single day, just seeing posts about people who just got a Quest, or a family member that just got a Quest, or somebody who ordered a Quest and it should be coming, pretty soon, that kind of stuff. Nerfenstein, you said StreamYard allows multi-streaming, super easy to use, and they have a free option. You can stream a screen or tab. Well, I had planned to, use the StreamYard anyway because I tried to link the Discord with this OBS, so I could start doing podcasts and having guests on there, and I couldn't get the shit to work. I copied the link and I was supposed to post it, somewhere inside of OBS, but it just would not let me. It would not let me like copy and paste the link. It wouldn't let me do it. Excuse me. Plus, I got nothing to hide. I got nothing to hide. I got the camera turned on. When I first came to YouTube, the very first video I did put the camera on me, because I used the PlayStation camera. But after that, once I switched over, after that, I wasn't showing my face, because the more I let it be known that the PlayStation was my console of choice, the more I expected to have to deal with trolls because of this silly ass console war. And because of that, I chose not to, show my face, but I moved in a different direction. I'm totally VR now, and there's no toxicity in the VR community, the way it is, with this crazy ass, console war. And for the most part, there's only one side that I think is toxic when it comes to this console war. I think one side is telling the truth because they're dominating, and that's just the facts, and the other side is delusional and toxic about it. So, but I don't consider myself part of that mess anymore. I'll still report on it here and there, but it's not, I'm not entrenched in it the way I was. VR is where I'm at. VR is, super positive, and I think since I made the full jump over to VR, I think I only had to ban one troll. One person that I thought was a troll was not a troll, and I made the mistake and unblocked him. So I'm not going to count that as a block. So with that being said, since making the jump to VR, I only blocked one person. It's just it's in the VR community is just incredibly positive, and I think the only area where I've really seen some negativity in the VR community is that some people take Firewall a little too serious. You said no one wants AR glasses. Cold Yogurt. You doing, Cold Yogurt? Nerfenstein. You said, yeah, the AR audience, the VR audience for VR is more mature. There's kids, and you know what? And it's actually, well, at this time last year, my son was having a hard time on Pavlov because the people in there was recognizing that he was a kid. So they was like being, they were kind of picking on him. I wouldn't use the word bully, but I think they were kind of picking on him because they just assumed that because he was a kid, that he wasn't going to be any good at the game. But he was in there cleaning them up. My son, when my son really feels like buckling down and he tries to win, he's an animal. He's a beast. It's just like, it's when he's out there horsing around trying to get cute kills, that's when he doesn't do so good. But yeah, you run across an occasional asshole on Firewall, but for the most part, that's it. Yeah, right there, JD Max. You said it. Some people take PlayStation VR a little too serious. In my case, I've talked about how virtual reality has given me a chance to live out some things that I knew I would never be able to do in my lifetime. I know in my life I'll never be able to drive a race car. I'll never jump out of a plane, parachute. Even if I was willing to spend the money to do something like that, I'm too damn scared. First person shooters give you a chance to experience combat without actually being there. All that stuff. So, I'm kind of living out childhood dreams through virtual reality. But some of the people on Firewall take that shit a little too seriously. These are the guys that, to me are like, Monday armchair quarterbacks. These are the guys that act like they wanted to go fight in Desert Storm. These are the guys that act like they wanted to go after Osama bin Laden when they know damn well they wouldn't, they wouldn't dare go, but they act like they want to, be on the battlefield. Those are the ones that take this shit too serious. Because these are the ones that act like if this would have been a real, battle, I would have got killed because you didn't watch my back, or some shit like that. So yeah, there's some people on Firewall that takes it a little too serious, but but nonetheless, it's still way more positive on Firewall than it is negative. So Nerfenstein Orstein. Um, Space is my thing. Been playing Lone Echo before the link cable stopped working. And it's awesome being in space, something I'll never actually get to do. Exactly. And that's another, in Nerfenstein, that's another reason why I'm a little bit, I can be a graphics whore, which, when I'm playing on PC, then yes, I am a graphics whore when it comes to virtual reality. When I'm playing on the Oculus Quest, I already know that, you know, uh, the graphics are a trade-off for the freedom of movement with no wires. But Lone Echo still remains the best looking VR game that I have ever seen. And it was so real that there was a couple of times that I was like taking the transport over to the mining facility, and I let go of the transport and started floating off into space. And I'm thinking to myself, if Jack didn't have those thrusters on his wrist, it would have felt too real that I was drifting off into space. And then Saturn is so huge and so detailed on that game. Also played this game. I forgot what it was called, where you're on board a space station and you have to go out like on a spacewalk to repair the damage done to the space station. And you have like a thruster pack behind you, but there's only so much that you have in that thruster pack. So I was out there horsing around with the thruster pack and it ran out. And I just started floating away from the space station with nothing I could do. That shit felt so real. It was almost a little bit scary. And you're talking to Nerf Cold Yoga. I get excited every time I fire up a new game. I like to be amazed at what environment they put you in. Tantrum, what's going on? How are you doing? I have not played Detached yet. Detached, nothing wrong with Detached from what I saw. But again, it came at a time where I think we might have already had Firewall by the time Detached came. But I wanted more first-person shooters, and I wanted some sim racers, and that's excuse me. And I've said that before about the PlayStation VR, that it's lacking three things: it's lacking racing games, it's lacking first-person shooters, and it's lacking multiplayer games. So, in the CES show, they have AR glasses that look like Ray-Ban glasses with mic and camera in front. You might be talking about that Panasonic VR headset that I was just referring to, that I said looked like some mad scientist glasses. But I think his name is Palmer Luckey, one of the former employees at Oculus before Facebook bought him. I think he's one of the founding fathers of Oculus. He tried it out and had some good things to say about it. Whew. Might have to get up and get some more to drink. See, what do we got here? Got some people streaming some stuff. And for those of you who liked and retweeted my stream, I thank you very much. In fact, no, the Ray-Ban ones look like sunglasses. They're AR, not VR. Okay. Give me a second, folks. I'm gonna tweet this out while I'm still live. Looks like Tom Cruise risky business glasses. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got an idea what you're talking about. What we got here? So where is my stream? Share. Make a direct tweet. And that's it. Geico, what is up? You said look into NXZT. This is PC hardware. Oh, look into that build, huh? Guy code my PC situation. I think those PCs taking a crap on me had to do more with me putting a heavy load on those PCs rather than the perception that store bought PCs are junk, cheap, you made with cheap parts and that kind of stuff. I think I killed those PCs by putting a heavy load on them. When I was a kid, to give you an example, I thought like cars could pull anything because it was a mechanical machine, and as a kid, I've seen how, especially those big giant cars that I grew up seeing, the big long ass Electra 225s, the deuce in the quarters as we call them. I grew up watching those cars where people would have, 6 people riding in those cars and still pulling a trailer. So I used to think a car, could pull anything. I used to, when I was like 6 years old, I thought you could like hook a chain up from a car, hook it up to a house and hit the gas, and that car would rip the house right out of the ground, and when we all know that's not the case, you're gonna get that transmission ripped out, all kinds of shit. You would do something like that. Here, PC is the same way. I guess I just didn't think, that I thought for the most part that PCs could handle any load that you put on them. I thought it was just a matter of I thought all the power, was into how good a game is going to look. So I figured like no matter how weak or how strong your computer is, I always figured that they could handle heavy loads. That it would just like the only time the only time you would be putting a strain on the computer is if you like turn the graphics all the way up and it starts running skittish. I thought like that was probably the most that could happen to you, as far as putting a load on your PC. But now I know, I was putting a heavy load on that PC because just about every time, like the first 2 PCs, just about every time that I played a game, I streamed it. So that computer never got a break. Every time I used it, it was taking on a heavy load. In the case of this Alienware, I started out doing the same thing, putting a heavy load on this Alienware, and it wasn't until I slowed down with my YouTube streams that I started taking a little bit of pressure off the Alienware, and that wasn't because of me trying to save the computer or trying to take the load off of it. I was just simply slowing down on YouTube, and then But I truly believe that's what killed all those PCs, and I'm starting to think that the first two PCs, the Cyber Powers, those were the first two that died on me, and it was the SSD on both of those PCs that died. Looking back at it, everything that I downloaded went to the SSD by default, and then it wasn't until the SSD ran out of room that applications and shit like that I was downloading was redirected to the D drive, and it never entered my mind to send everything to the D drive. Just the operating system and programs with a very small file. I mean, those were the ones that I should have left on the SSD, and then all the big shit sent to the D drive. But that never really entered my mind, and not till I got the Alienware. Geico, pre-built PCs, you just pay for the MSRP price for the components you want. You customize your own, and you only pay $100 for them to put it together. See, but the other thing is, I know people keep suggesting that, but I like the situation buying these pre-built PCs where I put a warranty on it. Something goes wrong with it, I take it back to Best Buy, and it's and then it's on them to take care of it. I don't want a situation where I build a PC myself, something goes wrong with it, because every PC that like the first Cyber Power that died on me and this Alienware that died on me, it took me forever to try to track down what was going on. When the second Cyber Power died, I knew immediately what was wrong with it when it died, because it died in the same manner as the first one. Well, Geico, my Alienware is liquid cool, and it has and it had an app which was the Alienware Control Center, where you can monitor all that stuff. You can monitor the temperature. You can you can use that control panel to overclock the PC and all that stuff. Now, whenever I wasn't playing any games, the PC kind of had ran at a steady 43 degrees. I don't know what the temperature was, while I was playing games, because I just never bothered to check that stuff. You said these are pre-builts. Every purchase comes with a 2-year warranty for free. Fatal Charade, a massive PC dude, told me they're a very good company to go to for pre-builts. Okay, well, keep in mind that right now it really doesn't make any sense for me to go with them, because the warranty that I put on my Alienware is a 2-year warranty. So I still got like a year and a half to go on that warranty. So I might as well go ahead and ride it out until that warranty is over, and then do something after that. For a podcast where I didn't think I was going to have a lot to talk about, this is going on a little bit longer than I thought. But when I get my computer back, it's going to take forever to download all that stuff, because like that Asgard's Wrath, that file was huge. That by far is the biggest VR game file that I have ever seen. That game is 130 gigs. They compressed it down to 25 so you can download it faster. But then, once you get it downloaded, at some point there's an update where I guess it opens up the rest of the file. You said me and C Slim are when you say C Slim, are you referring to Cyber Dragon, or going through them to get PCs? All right, cool. So, but one of the things I did talk about is just building my own building a PC, but I was going to build it with the cheapest parts possible, just just so it could be something that I could horse around with. Because I've only halfway built the PC once, and it was a situation where a guy that I worked with came over. He was trying to show me how to build a PC, so he started out doing most of the work, and then halfway through, I was like, "Let me take over. You just tell me what to do." So that's the closest I've ever did. Nerfenstein, thinking of buying Asgard's Wrath, assuming my link cable starts working again. Nice. You said Gaming Legends. Nice to hear it's on its way back. Yeah, they already shipped it, so it's headed back to the Best Buy where I dropped it off at as we speak, and it's supposed to be there by the end of the day tomorrow. And Nerfenstein, I would say that Asgard's Wrath is definitely worth the money. I guess depending on how much exploring and that kind of stuff you do with the game, with the side missions and that kind of stuff, there's anywhere from 25 to 40 hours of gameplay, and I feel like Asgard's Wrath is like the first AAA VR game that was built from the ground up from VR. I don't consider No Man's Sky a AAA VR game because it was not originally built for VR. It just had VR support added. But I think Asgard's Wrath was the first AAA VR game built from the ground up, because Lone Echo has AAA quality because the game looks amazing and is very interactive, but it does not have AAA gameplay in terms of how many hours of gameplay, because I think it's only like 6 or 7 hours of gameplay. So in that aspect, no, it's not a AAA game, but it's got AAA quality. So I would definitely recommend. Oh yeah, Cold Yogurt. Asgard's Wrath is 130 gigs. So that's one of those, because when I downloaded Asgard's Wrath, I had to let it download overnight and all day while I was at work. Stormland is another game that has AAA quality, but I don't think it has, AAA gameplay in terms of hours played, because I think I heard this game is like 7 hours of gameplay. So, but I think, I don't know. I think Half-Life Alyx is going to shatter all that stuff. I don't know how many hours of gameplay it's going to have, but I do believe that they did say that the game is, I can't remember if they said it's going to have co-op, but I do know they said they're going to allow mods for the game. So that's going to add a ton of replay value to the game with people, adding modded maps and that kind of stuff, because it seems like every other day a new map gets added to Pavlov. There's just so much content on Pavlov because they allowed mods in the game. So and Jemiah Dixon retweeted it. Thank you, Jemiah Dixon. If you should happen to be listening, appreciate it. But I guess I don't really have much more to talk about at this. It's like I said, all the tweets that I made today, I really don't feel like getting into them today. I really don't feel like reading paragraphs like I normally do, and then breaking down opinions. Because I just don't feel like doing it today. I'd rather wait till Saturday and do live from Wakanda and do all of it at once. Gaming Legends, these Oculus updates started messing with my Rift S connection. All sorted now. No more black screen. Up until my PC took a crap, I wasn't experiencing any kind of black screens, but that is what I was getting though. Gaming Legends, when my computer started acting up, I was getting black screens, but it wasn't from the Oculus, it was the PC itself giving me black screens. So Oh, excuse me. So what is it? What do we got? What's today's date? Today is the 8th. So I would say we got a month and 3 weeks. So how many days are left in this month? About 23 days plus 28 for next month. So we're looking at like 51 days. So if you want me to get a little technical about it, we're looking at 51 days until we see Iron Man VR. Hard to believe this game is right around the corner. I mean, when we first saw this game at State of Play, if memory serves me right, I thought this was a game that was supposed to come out in 2019. But that moment's finally about to come, and we'll see if it was we'll see if the juice is worth the squeeze. You said Cold Yogurt. He said Saints and Sinners coming up. Is that the Walking Dead game? Um, Looks pretty graphic, to tell you the truth. Now I think that's coming from Servios. Oh, 29 next month, leap year. Okay, all right. But nonetheless, though, it's still 51 days, though I believe that in counting because Iron Man VR does come out February 28th. You know, and The Last of Us 2 was originally slated to come out February 21st, but as everybody probably knows, it got pushed back to like April or May, which I think was a good move because I believe that The Last of Us 2 would have absolutely smothered Iron Man VR if it would have released in that time frame because it comes out a week before Iron Man VR comes out. And I think The Last of Us 2 is going to be a great game. I think it's going to be an amazing game. And I think Iron Man VR will get swallowed up in all of the and all the hoopla over The Last of Us. So I think whether Sony did that by design to give Iron Man room to breathe and let it be on his own stage, whether they meant to do that or not, I don't know. But I still think it was a good move for them to push The Last of Us back because that would have put me in a little bit of a pickle trying to play The Last of Us and then Iron Man VR releases and then I'm going back and forth trying to play both of those games. So I'm definitely glad that they pushed it back, the Last of Us, because I'm definitely going to finish that one. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm definitely going to finish it. And Ghost of Tsushima is the only other flat screen game that's on my radar. So, so I'm ready to jump into some VR and play something. I just don't know if I should. I'll hold out for the definite VR edition of the Last of Us 2. Even if that were to happen, it wouldn't happen until the PS5 comes out. You saw how amazing that game looked. The stuff that we've seen of it so far. So much to the point where I think Square Enix tried to imply that it was fake. The Last of Us 2 looked that good, and there's no way they'll be able to make that game look like that on the current hardware we have, PlayStation hardware we have, because I've said this before that when it comes to VR, the graphics are basically a whole generation behind flat screen games. You see how amazing some of these flat screen game looks, due to the Xbox One X and the PlayStation Pro. But when it comes to these VR games, a lot of them look like they have last gen graphics. They look like they have PS3 and Xbox 360 graphics. It wasn't until like recently that we started seeing in my graphics, in my opinion, is starting to be comparable to current gen graphics. You know, Asgard's Wrath and Stormland are two VR games that look like they could be considered current gen graphics, but they still don't look as good as like The Last of Us 2 or God of War or something like that. It's just the way it is. I mean, but I think Lone Echo, like I said, that's a game that could be compared to current gen games. It's just not enough hours gameplay. Gaming Legends, which is your PC? The Xbox looking one or the PSVR looking one? To make it easier, my PC is the one that's directly above my head. That is the Alienware Aurora R8, and the one that's going this way, the tall one with the blue light and the Alienware lighted letters in the back of it. That is the Alienware Aurora R9. That is the PC that I want, and I was hoping they were going to tell me that my PC couldn't be repaired and they would give me a refund, and then I would take that money and buy that R9. That's why I got both of these pictures up here, because I'm showing you that that's the PC that I got. That's the good news, that it is fixed. I'll be back to gaming this weekend. The bad news is that it didn't, is that it could be repaired. So I won't be able to get that R9. So yeah, left top. So yeah, the one directly above my head, Cold Yogurt. And let me see here, Cold Yogurt. You also said PSVR 2 hopefully has that VR SS tech. I really don't know what Sony has planned. But I do think it's going to go one of two ways. I think Sony is either going to put a shitload of tech into those headsets, and it's going to be a little bit pricey, or they might do what Oculus did and kind of strip some of that shit down to make it affordable. You know, because Oculus did strip the Rift S down a little bit to make it affordable. You know, we got 80 hertz instead of 90 hertz that you got from the CV1. The colors aren't as rich because I think they went with an LCD panel versus the LED panel that's in the CV1. So that's what I think is going to happen with PlayStation VR 2 when that comes out. They're either going to, you know, put some unbelievable tech in it, and it's going to probably sell for $400 or $500, or they'll strip some of that shit out of there and sell it for $300. Oh, you're talking about the golfer? How's it going? You said it's where they sharpen, where it sharpens the center and softens. You're talking about the eye tracking. Because yeah, I know they filed a patent for that, and it was basically, people were basically saying that it turns the resolutions up. You know, it focuses on where you're looking at. So wherever you look at, the resolution is always going to be better wherever you look. And then the background, the resolution is going to be a little bit lower in order for them to get optimal performance out of the headset. So I wouldn't doubt if that's in there. Ooh, excuse me, everybody. Which if they put it in there, then they put it in there. It's fine with me. If they, you know, if they do it, they do it. But I don't know. You know, and there was an article that I posted. There was an article that I posted on Twitter where they were talking about how the PlayStation VR did hit 5 million, but you know, sales were slow. And I think in 2019, I think Sony put out only, I think they put out maybe 3 exclusives. I know they put out Blood and Truth, Everybody's Golf, which I think those are 2 excellent games. And I think they put out a game called Jupiter and Mars, which I didn't try it, but based on what I saw of it, it doesn't look like something that was for me. But all in all, I don't think Sony put out a lot of VR games this year, and so I think I think if Sony want to keep the sales of these headsets going, whenever they don't have any games out there, I think they need to put it on sale or put together some bundles. And so let me see. So I know this year we got Iron Man VR next month, and then we got Sniper Elite VR coming. But other than that, I don't know what Sony has coming for 2020 as far as VR goes. And the PlayStation 5 is supposed to be coming out this year. So I really think that now's the time for Sony to take a look at making a permanent price cut of the current PlayStation VR. Because what I would like to see happen, I mean, I think at some point last year there was like articles suggesting that Sony could price the next PlayStation VR headset at $300. Which if they were to do that, I would like to see the current VR headset come down to a permanent price of $200. I think if they did that, I think they might sell at a slow burn, but I still think they would still be able to move those headsets. So, but Sony does act like Nintendo in a sense that they don't exactly knock their prices down fast. Now the console, I understand Sony standing their ground with the console because it was worth it. I paid $400 for the PS4, and I bought it day one, and I paid $400 for the PS4 Pro, which I pretty much bought day one, and they were both worth it because I put in a lot of hours on both of those consoles. So I can understand Sony holding its ground with that $400 price tag for quite a while. I can understand them doing that because they had the games to back it up. So that's not to say that they don't have the games to back up PlayStation VR, because they do have games, but it hasn't been adopted by the mainstream yet. Now we're on the verge of kicking that door in. Don't get me wrong. And it looks like Oculus is going to be instrumental in getting VR to the mainstream. But, I think with the PS5 right around the corner, I think now's the time to put the PlayStation VR on sale because I don't know. I think when the PS5 gets ready to come out and people are in a situation where they only got enough money to buy the PlayStation 5, or buy a VR headset and use it on their PS4, what do you think they're going to choose? They're going to choose the PS5. I think now's the time to go ahead and lower the price on the PlayStation VR, where you can get people to buy it now and then feel like they have enough time to recover and get their money in order to get the PS5 when it comes out. Because if you wait, because my guess is that the PS5 is probably going to come out in November of this year. And if that's the case, I think if Sony were to wait until the end of October to put the PlayStation VR on sale, if they were to wait till the end of October, I don't think a lot of people are going to jump on it because they're going to be hanging on to their money for the PS5. Let's see here. Gamer Legends, you said I reckon PSVR 2 will be standalone and tethered. Well, the Pico Neo 2 will be out this year, and that's supposed to be, PC and tethered. I guess in its standalone, as a standalone headset, is not much better than the Quest in terms of the refresh rate, has 75 hertz refresh rate versus the Quest 72 hertz. Now the area where it's got the Quest Beat is, the resolution is 4K in each eye, whereas the Quest is 1600. But you can connect it to your PC wirelessly, and from the article that I read, the processor in the Pico Neo 2 as well as the processor in your PC work together to give you optimal performance. So I guess I read that people were saying that the latency was almost indistinguishable from wired, from wired VR. You said I prefer tethered. I hope they give you an option. And also, Cold Yogurt, you also said in the CES they have a light station where you can use with the PSVR that can connect to Steam PC. Yeah, from I think it was Impatient Fire that had. I think he was the first one to tell me that I think you can use an app called Revive, and you can use that will allow you to use your PlayStation VR headset on the PC, and he said it actually looks pretty good. Gaming Legends PSVR 2 for those without a PS5, and tethered for a higher fidelity like PC on PS5. Oh, I get you. Basically, you're wondering if Sony's gonna do, um, like this Pico Neo. Is it gonna be a standalone and you can tether it to the heads? Well, we did see. Well, I did see a patent that suggested that it would connect to the PS5 wirelessly, presumably. Not only that, I've seen a patent where two headsets could be connected to the console wirelessly. So we know technology. We know Sony's got the know-how to do it. They got the know-how. They got the skills when it comes to the hardware. I do think that I don't know. I think with Japanese, I think they might be the most tech, because I think they make tech shit for consumers. Where I think here in America, I think all our tech lies in military weapons. I think America has incredible tech when it comes to weapons, and if any of this tech makes its way to consumers, it's like years down the line. This shit is damn near obsolete to the military by the time it makes its way into the consumer's hands. But I think Japan develops their technology for the consumer instead of the military, and then the military decides whether they want to release it to the consumers at a later date. So what do we got here? Yeah, running out of stuff to say. So plus I gotta get these chores together here pretty soon. So I guess I'll get ready to go here in a few minutes. So I don't know. Let me take a quick second to check. Other than that Saints and Sinners that you said is coming up, let me check Upload VR and Road to VR. Oh yeah, there's a lower price Pimax headset coming out. which I guess I'll talk about that on Live from Wakanda also. Interview and demo with the $8,000 military grade dual 4K XTAL VR headset at CES 2020. My God, like all the stuff that's starting to come out at a feverish pace, and it seems like, you know, every time we hear something about a new headset coming out, it's got some kind of new technology to it that's taking us further and further into the future, like something right out of the Jetsons. So, but that is it. That is all I got. So I'm gonna get ready to boogie on out of here so I can play a little bit of VR, get some chores done, all that good stuff. You know, like always, I don't know. I'm leaning towards playing something on the Quest. But if I should happen to play something on the PlayStation VR, I will stream it. I even thought about playing Spark again because that was actually pretty fun. So that's going to do it for me. Like, comment, share. You need powerful PCs to get the most out of those headsets. Yeah, absolutely. Stardust, thank you very much. It's a good show. And I thought this Alienware that I had, I thought that PC had more than enough power to stream and game, you know, at the same time, but I don't think that's the case. So I think it's one or the other, but I don't think I can't do both. So start doing, you know, this PC that I'm sitting at right now, use that for streaming, and then use the Alienware for what it was built for, and that's gaming. So, but yeah, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. So I wish I had a lot more to talk about, but like I said, all the stuff, the tweets that I made today, I just don't feel like getting into it. I'll get into them a little bit more on Saturday. I think when I'm a little more refreshed and feel like digging a little bit deeper into those articles. So, all right, y'all, for the 19th time, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. And like always, what I needed to say only took a few minutes, but all of you kept the conversation going, and I definitely appreciate it. As always, it's always a pleasure chatting with all of you. And that's going to do it. I'm on out of here, y'all. Catch y'all later. Deuces.